Alright, friends and YouTube viewers, I know many of you for quite a good while now have been wanting me to continue with the Carthage campaign. I am not trying to be mean. I honestly don't see a whole lot of point to it since all the challenge is gone from it now. Many of you want me to pretty much dominate the whole world. I don't mean to be mean, but that won't be happening. Just a little bit too boring for me to go on from that point. So, sorry if that upsets you, but I'm just going to have to do it that way. However, I guess I'll continue this one for a while longer, since a lot of people seem to be really into it. Let's see what I can do about retraining my troops here. It looks like they're under, well, they're being retrained. And I'll go ahead and start training some pointy infantry up there as well. Take a look at the situation if we can, to figure out what's going on. Don't see any cities at siege. Oh yeah, we got one over under siege over here. Let's see how many more turns. My city can hold out for a while longer, so I'm going to allow let the Gauls come to me there. Or actually, that's where I've got my big horde of cavalry. I can probably take the Gauls out here, so let's go ahead and take care of that. I will see you on the battle map. In fact, I was actually clicked on the wrong city there, so that wasn't the city where I had my big horde of cavalry, so kindly disregard that. In fact, I accidentally moved my army out of Mediolanum, but oh well, if the Romans take it, I'll just re-siege them. No big worries. I think we should just go ahead and end the turn, to be honest. There's not a whole lot going on over here. And I was thinking, as far as next moves, we probably want to get rid of the Bruttii Romans, so let's see what we can do here down in Italy. Let's see, we can train some pointy infantry, train a couple of units of those. Probably I've already got some there. I'll train a couple more, whoops, and a couple units of Libyans and some long shields, and then we'll take them across the straits here. Alright, let's go ahead and end the turn. See what goes down. Looks like the Numidians are going to attack me at Cirta. So, I don't have a whole lot of troops there, but I'll bet I can take them. So let's get that. Alright, not so intelligently on the computer's part, they have brought an army of Libyan javelin men. That would be a decent army if I had a complete army of skirmishers myself. But I do not, and so this is going to be an absolute goat rope, as their missile troops are going to be absolutely no match for my cavalry. So as soon as my cavalry get out of the gates, it's just going to turn into an absolute slaughter. You can see that that's already underway, and of course they're going to throw their javelins and probably kill a number of my horsemen, but oh well. There goes that unit, and the only reason they lasted that long was because my horses didn't really get a charge in. It was just an actual melee fight. And there's a Numidian cavalry unit back here that's just going to throw javelins and run off. Okay, so that's 2 units of javelin men down. This is where I think that the creative assembly could do a lot of work. Their AI, you know, does fine about getting out and attacking your city. It's just that, like, their army planning and maneuvering is just so poor that this is kind of a typical example of how badly that they fare. I mean, you really can't besiege a city with a bunch of light militia troops. It's just completely and utterly ridiculous. Because this is what happens when you bring an army of light infantry onto a battlefield with cavalry. They get absolutely trodden down in a absolute bloodbath of pain and biting and screeching. Okay, maybe not so much biting, but there's probably screeching. So there's the Numidians just being absolutely trodden under hoof. Sounds like some kind of scriptural verse. And here comes the Numidian cavalry where their general's at. This is going to be a short fight. Alright, well, if that wasn't a good demonstration of how crappy the computer is, then I don't know what is. Sorry, I'm just trying to get this battle over with real quick. Let's watch this one last unit of javelin men get absolutely pummeled by my cav. I kind of like watching light infantry units like this just get head-on blown out by cavalry. No, don't run away. It makes it less funny. Stand and die. Oh well, it didn't turn out being as good as I had hoped, but there they go. Their units keep coming back from routing. Anyway, I'm done with this battle. See you back on the campaign. Were this actually the year 226 BC, that would have gone down in history as the Numidian bloodbath of the summer of 266 BC, because that was an absolute joke. Looks like one of my family members died in Cisalpine Gaul. That sucks. But, oh well. I think it was Theodecles. I think he's been alive since like the very beginning of the game. So it's probably about time that the good old boy got along towards death. And the Romans didn't take Mediolanum. They must be some kind of idiots. So I'm going to move my troops back into the city. I was retraining them. I remember I told you all that I accidentally moved them out of the city. It was just, yeah, whenever I was trying to attack the Gauls over in Spain, I was on the wrong city, so kind of a stupid move on my part. But that's just the way it works. I do that sometimes. Sometimes a lot. This army was supposed to be retraining, but I think this city has the plague. So these troops here keep losing men. And if the Romans want to come down here and attack me while I have the plague, that's fine. I'll be glad to oblige. I think we need to go ahead and end another turn. I'll just make sure that my troops in Sirte get retrained. In case the Numidians bring back more javelin men that would like to have horse prints tattooed on their face. So here we go.
We're surrounded.
So I've been attacked at Iridium and Mediolanum. Neither one should be too much of a challenge, to be honest. Getting some new family members here. It looks like, yeah, Lilybom is not on auto build, but there are a lot of family members there that I'd like to get up into Italy. I'm kind of too lazy to do it at the moment, but a bunch of worthless information. Alright, let's get back up in here into Italy and get some of these Roman armies off our case. Let's get our plague army out here to fight the Julii. I think that ought to be interesting. An army of plague-ridden soldiers coming out from their city against a whole horde of Town Watch. So I will definitely let you see the results of this one, because there's going to be a pile of bodies about 20 feet high. Okay, reason begs to question. If you were one of these Roman Town Watch soldiers, and I think that Rome Total War does way too much justice to how these guys would have looked in real life. I think they're way better armed. I doubt they would have had a nice scutum shield like that and a nice brass or bronze helmet, whatever it was. I think that they would have more so been standing there in their urine-soaked rags, wondering why in the world they decided to listen and follow their commander into battle against this wall of Carthaginian pikes that's about to help them graduate, quote-unquote, from the School of Warfare. Of course, we're going to help them graduate with a major in getting a pike through your face and a minor in urinating yourself before getting a pike through your face. Alright, my lame jokes aside, let's get down to business. I am going to rush forward and give these Romans the business. So, pikes down. And let the slaughter begin. And my cavalry, sorry, I'll get you some close-ups in a minute. Because the crappy frame rates on Fraps, I'm going to have to try and stay out here for a second in order to control my troops properly. Now there are some Triaria, yeah, there they are. I'm trying to get my cavalry away from the Triarii, there we go. So you can see that the Romans are just in absolute and utter disarray. And that's probably way too many men for my horses to be piled up against. Let's get these horse units in here. There we go, all the Romans are now running into my spear units. Well, what do you think, YouTube? Do you think I was right now about my comment on the Romans' urine-stained legs before the battle? Do you think this is really what these town watch... Oh, wait, there's actually some Principes here. No wonder they haven't routed. Well, anyway, let's watch what happens to even the Rome's best trained and bravest soldiers here as they rout amidst a violent death suffered at Carthaginian hands. And here the poor routing Romans are run down and slaughtered by their merciful Carthaginian masters. Mercy meaning giving you a quick spear to the back and making sure that you don't have to come to a fight like this again. So really, am I not merciful? Hey wait, that sounds a lot like that Gladiator movie. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and continue the battle. I want to extend my Carthaginian diplomacy to the rest of these Romans who are still on the field. Don't you all like Carthaginian diplomacy? It's so much more interesting than real-world diplomacy. Of course, real-world diplomacy doesn't have so much like gut-wrenching, bowel-stabbing noises as Rome Total War. Alright, I think I've done enough damage to these Romans. Let's go take a look at the carnage. I don't think the pile of bodies quite ended up being 20 feet tall. That's mostly because the Romans ran away before I was able to cause a stack that big. But as you can see, there's a nice steady trail of Romans, just like ants, leading right back to their home. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this Carthage campaign video. I think I am through for now. Let's go ahead and end it, and I'll show you the battle results. There you go. I killed the Romans on a 9-to-1 basis, which was probably me not being that good. And look, it was Captain Hannibal. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that video. I'll bring you more Carthage campaign from time to time, but I'll also continue the Rome Total Realism campaign for those interested in that. See you later.